Hey y'all. So you guys know about the DoorDash girl situation. It's been all over YouTube. It's been all over TikTok. I've not made a YouTube video on it, but that's beside the point. I really don't need to. But this is a video responding to a larger content creator on TikTok who goes by the name of Crime Happening. And she has a whole Candyland path's worth of content just constantly defending the DoorDash girl. Like over and over and over defending the DoorDash girl. And I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was important to, and I thought it would make for a decent YouTube video because as somebody who was both sexually assaulted and sexually harassed, I take this stuff extraordinarily seriously. I was sexually assaulted when I was around 12, 13 years old by a weird, creepy 40-year-old who bumped into me in Walmart and grabbed my butt. And then I've been sexually harassed by several gay guys on TikTok over the last couple of years. But still, this is making a mockery of victims of sexual assault, and it's not a good look. It's not something that needs to be taken lightly. And if I felt that the DoorDash girl truly was sexually assaulted, which she wasn't in any way, shape, or form, I would listen. In fact, I originally left her a message when I heard that she got fired from her job for being sexually assaulted. I left a message on her TikTok sending my condolences, my apologies that this happened. So I was stupid. Forgive the fan in the background. I was stupid and originally just did the whole listen and believe thing, which I said I would never do. But let's get into these videos and talk about why this person is just flat out wrong and why she's going to believe a woman no matter how hard it is. And I want to make it clear. There is some edited evidence going out there that shows the door closed and stuff like that. I don't buy that evidence the same way as I don't buy the Casey Speaks evidence where he came out and told a bunch of lies on a random person for no reason whatsoever because he wanted to gain attention. So Casey Speaks found another dude named Austin and said that he was the same Austin as the DoorDash girl's interaction. And they were two completely different people. And this woman that we're about to talk to is just fully defending, all this crap. So let's take a listen and I'll see you later.
He started charging at me with a bat while he was naked. Yeah, that was like the weirdest part. So maybe you shouldn't have taken a video then. Why? So he said he was in his own home. Yes, we were at his house. And he was naked, which you now have on video. Yeah, I got it on video. See, he could have been drunk or on drugs. Have you considered that? Or going through an emotional time. What? Also, maybe ixnay on like he was trying to kill himself. I think it was more like attempted assault or battery. What with it being a bat and not a gun or a knife? Because it's people like you that real murder victims don't get believed. Murder victim. Okay, I can change my legal vocabulary. You had no right. You had no right to record. Oh my god.
A lot of these I'm watching for the first time, and that was the first video. And you see how ridiculous she is. We're just dealing with a pillar of intelligence. Because here's the thing, the two things are completely different crimes. Also, on top of that, what were you doing to get charged with a baseball bat? I'm not saying that there aren't insane people that just randomly charge people with the weapons. Not saying that at all, because that happens way more often than you think. But still, if we're using the same line of thinking, we can still use the argument, what were you doing to get charged like that? Holy moly. Next video.
I'm sorry, if the roles were reversed, yeah, I would be questioning what happened to that woman a lot more because from the age of 2, maybe even younger, most if not all women are hyper aware of the fact that if we put ourselves in that kind of a situation, we put ourselves at such a high risk for incredible danger, incredible shitty situations that are traumatizing for us.
Yeah, dummy. I know you don't want to hear this, but the same thing is happening for men too. We're also taught that. I know you want to think man bad, man horrible, but we're taught the same stuff because it does happen to men. It just doesn't get reported as much because people like you won't believe us.
More than it could ever be a little thrill for us. And sure, yes, there are women who are exhibitionists.
There are also male exhibitionists, so I can counter each point just by saying that alone.
Whatever. But, let's think, let's use our brains.
Using our brains, something you don't seem to know anything about.
It is far less likely that a woman will come up and see a pantsless man, a half-naked man, and think, oh, I can do something to him. I can overpower any resistance against what I want to do to him.
It still can happen. I'm not saying this is what DoorDash idiot was doing, not in the slightest, but it does happen.
I can overpower him so much to the point that I can make him do to me what I want him to do to me. And again, not saying that situations of male sexual assault victims don't exist.
You may not be saying it, but you sure are implying it. At least you're downplaying it to a very high degree.
But it's far, 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 far less likely that a woman will be thinking that they can do that and will act upon the desire and confidence to do that.
Well, that's a load of bullcrap. There are plenty of female teachers that love to take advantage of their male students. Power dynamic and all that. It happens all the time. You just don't want to hear it because you're a believe all women type person. And whenever a young man gets seen with his teacher, oh, well, where were these teachers when I was around and all this other stuff, it gets downplayed.
Shut up with the roles reverse thing. Shut the fuck up.
No, we won't. Because as somebody who was a victim of male sexual assault and male sexual harassment, we will not shut up about this because it is a very important thing to say. You say shut up about it because you don't want to hear it. That's your problem. That's your issue. We won't shut up about it because it's a very valid argument.
Women will literally be rape victims after wearing something completely covered, and people still question what she was wearing. So why don't we just shut the fuck up?
No, we won't. We will not, because you are proof as to why men don't get listened to or believed at all, ever. That listen and believe situation was for women only. And you're telling us to shut up if the roles were reversed? You don't give a dang about male victims at all. At all. But let's go to the next video that she posts, because I hadn't heard that video all the way through, and I had to respond to this. This is going to be a long video. I'm probably going to run out of gameplay footage and have to tack on some more. But let's proceed.
Sir, you have the right to remain silent.
And we're working with a real last two brain cells are fighting each other for third place type individual. Home is where the law doesn't apply. Proceed.
Embezzlement? And we have proof it's been going on for years, you sicko. But I promised I was only doing it when I was working from home. Oh. You're in your own home? Yeah, I'm remote 3 days of the week. This is so embarrassing. I'm sorry.
These videos just proceed to get dumber and dumber with more and more idiotic arguments. I have no response to that one. The stupidity of her argument is as clear as day. I don't have to explain it to y'all. Next video.
This man came onto my property with a chainsaw, which he then stole. Theft is a little worse. Theft? I was protecting my... he came to me with a weapon and I took it out of his hand. Stealer. Please. Trespassing is bad, but you have to admit, theft is a little worse. It's a little worse. Look, all I'm saying is that you didn't handle the situation in the right way, and now he's the victim here. You see that? Do you know the law? I'm a police officer. Loosely, yeah.
And that video just completely proved why her past arguments made absolutely zero sense. 0 cents. Trespassing is a little worse. Yeah, she trespassed on his property. It wasn't trespassing originally when she was just told to do her job and put the food on the porch, but as soon as she started to record the man, it was way more than trespassing. I mean, no, it was way more than just her doing her job. It was trespassing at that point. And she recorded a man while he was in his own house and posted it on the internet, which is revenge porn. We all know this. But because she's a believe all females type person, believe all woman type person, all of a sudden the man is not the victim, can't be the victim. Screw male victims. Her description said to fully flesh out the metaphor. Person A doesn't have solid proof of trespassing or intent of threat. Person B's accusation of theft is more easily proven. Person A has person B's chainsaw. Person C, aka the judge and jury police officer, is the internet latching onto more easily proven allegations, regardless of purpose and context. She's a nutcase. And one final thing. When she said, you're a cop, aren't you? When she said, yeah, I'm a cop. So yeah, loosely, in regards to, do you know the law? So you're saying you know the law more than police officers do. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some really stupid police officers out there. But you're playing indoor detective. But it gets even worse. See, all these videos are in order of what she posted. So it gets even worse as we go along.
Drunk people sleep with the door open sometimes.
Yeah, if they're so wasted they forgot that they didn't latch the door properly.
Forgetful people who took too much melatonin will sleep with the door open sometimes.
Again, if they're so drugged up that they forgot that they didn't latch the door all the way and it blew open. Yeah.
People high off weed will sleep with the door open. Tripping on shrooms will meditate with the door open sometimes. People who die will sleep with the door open sometimes.
That last one makes 0 sense whatsoever. If you're dead, you're not asleep.
People who don't have a door sleep with the door open sometimes. People who have doors with rusty hinges will sleep with the door open. People who just want to show the world how they sleep will...
She cuts it right there as to imply that that's what the dude was doing. Thus, making up this whole story in her head as to what the guy may or may not have been doing before all this happened.
People who went through hypnosis therapy to fall asleep right after they open both doors will fall asleep with. People who have a delusional sense of trust in their neighborhood sleep with their door open sometimes.
Again, she's the type of person whose last two brain cells are fighting for third place. Heck, I don't even think they're fighting for third place. I think they're fighting for fourth place. Next video.
By the way, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she only came to TikTok and shared her story and shared her evidence because DoorDash deactivated her account.
Yeah, she can't do that. She could share the story, sure. Whether the story is true or not, it doesn't matter. She can share the story, she can share words, but she can't show the evidence, air quotes, because that evidence is revenge porn and doxing someone.
Not the other way around. DoorDash is trying to make it seem like, oh, we only deactivated her account because she posted a video of the person and their details and stuff, so that's why we had to deactivate her. We were investigating, and then she just, like, she just posted it.
Yeah, I hate DoorDash with every fiber of my being, but that's exactly what happened in this case.
And from what I've seen, and of course there are like bots in comments saying like, oh, why did she go to TikTok first and not DoorDash then the police? Like, she did go to DoorDash first. And DoorDash gave no reassurance, no explanation as to what they're doing and how they're investigating this and like sit tight and like this is just a temporary deactivation. Like, they just deactivated it.
Which they have every right to do. They can do that in any way that they want to. It sucks, but they can. But you did not answer the second question. Why didn't she go to the police before posting any of this on TikTok? Because she even admitted herself she didn't go to the police.
I didn't report this to the police last night because I wasn't sure of DoorDash's process for like SA or if this was even reportable to the police in New York State because he was in his home. But after so many people told me to report to the police, I did.
And wasn't giving her any more details. And now there are so many comments on DoorDash's page being like, I love DoorDash, sorry, we owe you an apology.
No, they're not. I promise you they're not. Because if there were, you would show evidence of that. Not saying that none of them aren't acting like that, but most people are just saying that DoorDash is in the right in this situation because the situation that happened. They didn't have to tell her why she was fired. Quite frankly, if I did what she did and I lost my job, I would be able to put two and two together. Next video.
Now that we've been debunking the cropped photo that cuts the words in half to make it seem like the door was only ajar at a certain point by pointing out that the words are cut in half and also comparing it side by side with the full image, I just saw this image where there's a hand that came out of nowhere. It's not in the original video, definitely like edited in to make it seem like, oh, she pushed open this door, which is a door that swings outward.
Yeah, you're right. Those photos are absolutely stupid. They're dumb. I don't buy into them the same way as I don't buy into whatever you're spewing. But that still doesn't change the fact that what she did was completely wrong, and you're justifying it. And it also does not change the fact that she could have very well opened the door before hitting the record button.
And then I'm also seeing someone freaking post this over and over again, which is like, why is it so blurry and wavy? Oh, I don't know, like maybe it's edited. Again, a lazy editing job to make it seem like the screen door that's shown in the video is a swing inwards door. Basic physics was forgotten in the editing of this photo. Like, what kind of fuck-ass Photoshop job is this? And who the fuck is believing it? Like, the video was not that wonky.
For once, we can agree with each other. Those were horrible Photoshop jobs. I agree with you fully on that one video. You are completely correct on that. We still don't need any of those photos to prove that the woman was still completely in the wrong and the man was not a victim. Like, at all. But proceed with your next video to explain to us why the woman was still in the right. I really would love to hear that.
It's always believe victims, unless it's a man, right? Okay, I admit, like, I would hear him out, except all of you guys are just, like, talking so loudly with all your little fantasies about what could have been and just bringing up all these doctored images.
Lady, I just showcased multiple videos of fake arguments that you've had, maybe not fake, but dumb arguments that you've posted in regards to defending the woman. You are no better than the fools who are posting the doctored images by making every defense possible as to why it's completely acceptable for a person to record someone in their own home and plaster it on the internet, especially on an app where children can see it.
Saying there's a video without ever linking one, that it's like, it's a little hard to hear him saying nothing.
So you're not going to listen to the man's side or even use your critical thinking skills as to wonder what the man could be doing, possibly waiting for legal counsel. But you're telling me you would never listen to the man because of the way that other people are acting. Okay, cool. Well, by that logic, I'll never listen to the woman because of how people like you are acting. Because you're making up stories about what the man's intentions are without any evidence or proof that he did it intentionally. It's just all made up in your head. Could he have done it intentionally? Sure. Is there any proof? No. And that's where we're coming from. But next video, please.
You can't post a video of someone exposed like that, period. Yeah, and you can't even see his thing in the video. Don't. It's revenge corn.
Yep, we have another one of these videos where she's doing a skit, pretending to be us, the people who fully believe the DoorDash girl is the one in the wrong. And she's just proving our arguments correct. Just in a stupid skit form.
Okay? Yeah, and plus, he had a pillow in his hand covering it. Can you act like stop? Go ahead. You're posting corn on an app for children, traumatizing so many children. The children, yeah, like literally the angle at her eye level, you can't even, like a child would have to literally walk in the house and stand over him and remove the pillow. Okay, I think we need to talk in private and like get on the same page. Oh, really?
And this is why I say she's on the same level as the people who keep posting the doctored photos on TikTok. Because literally, from what I've seen, nobody's made that argument. We've made the argument of if a child were to see it when trick-or-treating, that wouldn't really happen because most adults would assess the situation for themselves before letting their kids go to that house. But nobody's made that argument from what I can see. But go on.
What about this isn't working for the smear campaign? I mean, the fact that you just called it a smear campaign and we didn't even go in private yet. He was in the privacy of his own home. Okay, now we're gonna send you back to the software engineers, buddy, okay? Brush up that code.
Yes, because we're all just robots who are trying to do this big smear campaign against a woman. I've seen women, sexual assault survivors, come out and say this was not sexual assault. I've seen full-blown feminists who are hate all men type people come out and say that she's wrong. Holy snot, man. For once, the entirety of the internet is aligned on this one thing. You're the one who's incorrect on this situation. This is just completely wrong. Full stop. And it's aggravating as heck.
She opened the door. Okay, proof? I saw the video. And show me that video because this video shows that she never opened the door.
I'm not even finishing that one. There shouldn't be a video over the internet in the first place. That's the thing. Should not even be a video out there in the first place. But there is. And that's wrong. What do you not understand about that? You're fully okay with a woman committing multiple crimes because you think the man did something wrong. And even if the man did something wrong, they would both be criminals in this situation. But you're absolving the woman of any and all crimes because believe all women.
Okay, girl. Ready to rob this bank? Yeah, 1 sec. Well, I know we cut the cameras, but what if someone takes a video of us? Amateur.
I'm cutting it off there, but she proceeds to remove her pants. And this is what her description said. Now, her description to this video contradicts what she said earlier in regards to why the woman posted it to TikTok. Not debating whether it should have been posted on social media, only addressing the stupidity of blaming her for ever recording potential evidence in the first place.
It's getting late and it's so dark out here. Did I remember to lock the car? Hope nothing scary happens to a little girl like me in this unfamiliar neighborhood. Oh, why is the door ajar? Are there any cameras around? I wanna see what's up. The lights are on, so they must be home. Let me just say hi, maybe? Super quiet. Doesn't sound like anyone's awake. Is that a man without his pants? Oh my god, was I just flashed? Am I a sexual assault victim? I could get famous. I could make money off of TikTok. Look at how embarrassing this creep looks. Okay, now to record evidence. Okay, I just dropped the food. I'm sure if this creep wants to pretend to be asleep, he'll stay pretending to be asleep. Let me just get a little bit closer. Finally, I can relate to SA victims. Leave at the door, my ass. Your door was ajar, bruh. Gotta check for cameras one last time, and I think I'm good.
Yeah, notice how she kind of entered her own bit of production in that video, her own commentary, where she's like, if he wants to pretend to be asleep, I'm sure he'll stay pretending to be asleep. Yeah, you have no proof that he was pretending. None. The same way as you want to go and call other people fanciful for believing those edited photos, that's how I view you. Now, next video. I told you this was going to be a long one. I'll speed up the video, but this is a long one. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. I haven't posted to YouTube in forever, so this will make up for it. I didn't know which clip was next. Just for a little context, this is her taking what Casey Speaks says and just running with it. Running with it, even after he admitted that he was completely wrong. And this is her believing what he said. And Casey completely went after the wrong person. Like 100% went after the wrong person. And she doesn't care, and it'll be shown in a separate video that she does not care.
I know there's been a whole lot of back and forth with the whole DoorDash discourse, but what we're not going to do, now that we've found the guy and found that he's gotten in trouble before for such things, we're not going to do the, you know what, I'm out at this point. You know what, I'm done. You're going to withdraw now, especially if you're one of those people who jumped quickly onto the side of, oh, actually, she did more predatory behavior, and she's lying about this and that without any proof and stuck to that side. You don't get to pull out now. You don't get to pull out now. The water is already broken. It is crowning. If you see people pushing the sentiment of like, this is too much, it's like, I'm out of this, question them, check their content, check the privacy of their page, because that is exactly what rape culture wants. It throws so much confusion into the mix that by the time the actual proof of predatory behavior surfaces, people are just too burnt out to even care.
I would say, don't you feel foolish now, but I know you don't. I know you don't feel foolish because you completely double down on the whole situation after being called out. So this lady said, mind you, this quote source is backtracking now. But even if he did get in trouble before, how does that prove his intent now? I'll wait. And this is on the previous video, the one where she shut off all of her comments because she was getting stuff like this. She responded with, did I say it would prove intent? Like, the fact alone would prove his intent in a court of law. Like, y'all keep demanding. Like, this isn't TikTok, and we're not just trying to fight this gross smear campaign, demonizing her, and setting a dangerous social precedence for women and all victims everywhere. Hi, I'm a victim. Shut up. You don't speak for me. In which they fear punishment more than they feel encouraged to try protecting themselves from potentially predatory or otherwise lewd behavior, in which they have to suffer the terrible moral dilemma of either feeling safely alone in their trauma or taking on the risks that they might be wrong or that the world will just call them all these horrible things, send them all these threats, and negatively impact their employment/financial security regardless, in order to prevent the possibility that their predator might inflict trauma on more victims just in case she was absolutely right, just in case others might feel encouraged by her story to speak up on their own experiences with a certain individual and reveal a pattern that must be stopped. I didn't know how to read that. She put so many question marks there. I didn't know how to read this thing. But no, notice how nobody else has come forward about this house or anything like that. You're just wrong.
Okay, I admit that the whole smear campaign successfully did throw me off focus as well. The issue is not trying to put the flasher behind bars. The issue is that DoorDash responded poorly to this woman's report, punished her, didn't explain why they deactivated her account, didn't explain why they denied her appeal of that deactivation, and then only when she then came on to social media to look for help and post her evidence did DoorDash come onto social media themselves and make their statement, permanently ban her account. Again, not directly communicating to her why, but saying in their statement that, oh, they deactivated her because she posted personal information about a customer online, and that is against their policy. So DoorDash owes her damages.
No, they don't. And I know you posted something that said she did it before. Let's take a look at that. A little blurry, but it says they've gotten in trouble before. Peter Oliver, plaintiff counsel, Peter Oliver Bruntrager, or however you say his name, case type, and then negligent hiring, personal injury claim. DoorDash was hit with a personal lawsuit on October 15th in Missouri Circuit Court for St. Louis County over allegations that a delivery driver sexually assaulted a customer. The complaint filed by the gentleman's last name and Billings alleges that the driver forced entry into the plaintiff's home, committed battery, later harassed her. Then suit accuses DoorDash of negligent hiring and supervision. The case is such and such and such and such. Okay. DoorDash was hit with a personal injury. They were hit with that, okay? So it says that the driver assaulted the customer. What does this prove? I don't like DoorDash, but what does this prove? The complainant alleged that the driver forced entry into the plaintiff's home and committed battery. What does this prove? This does not prove anything of what you're talking about. Oh my gosh. Do you just think that we're not going to read this stuff? This proves nothing. And again, DoorDash is a horrible corporation. I don't like them, but I hate liars even more. I love the truth more than I hate DoorDash. Gosh, play the next video. In my anger, I forgot to explain the next video. She's going to try to justify why it was completely okay for the DoorDasher to worry more about getting paid for the revenge corn she posted on TikTok than actually go to the police. This is, again, her last two brain cells racing each other for fourth place.
Hey guys, I'm explicitly worried about my financial security. Now, I am mad and yelling out of anger about the fact that I am now also not getting money from the posts that I've posted. She's mad about not getting money. She's mad about not getting the money.
Yeah, that's just more evidence that she was more worried about monetary gain off of this whole thing and making content out of it than she ever was about the supposed crime. Because she didn't even go to the police first. She went to DoorDash. What the crap was DoorDash supposed to do in this situation? They already permanently banned his account. And now they permanently banned hers. You never even spoke about how they permanently took his account down because you were more focused on her. You said DoorDash didn't do anything. They took his account off the books. So that's all they can do. It's her job to call the cops. But I'm losing brain cells. But what do you expect from somebody who makes videos like this? This is the next and final video and has zero connection to this whole thing whatsoever. But this does tell you the type of person she is.
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also,
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably fun.
I actually do contempt terror, you know what? Do you? What's the worst terror, you know what, organization? Probably the United States of America. Yeah, that's the type of person we're dealing with. Have a blessed day, guys, and please use your critical thinking skills no matter what side of an argument you're on. I urge you guys to critically think, because she is no better than the people who are leaving those wonky, poorly photoshopped images that you didn't even need in the first place to prove a point. Didn't even need it in the first place. Sorry, just this is a long video, I get that, but I had to get my voice out there, and I know nobody will watch this video, but I still had to speak on this. Sorry for the weird audio. I was recording the first part in my downstairs living room, and this part is being recorded in my room. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you guys later. God bless.